So we have to talk about the special effects. It's one of the big talking points of the film is the low-budget special effects. Can you tell me about the guy who was responsible for the special effects? Where did you find him, and what sort of work had he done before?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's Yoon Chan is he's a recent graduate from the Academy of Arts in San Francisco, animation school. I practically gave him his first job. Okay. So I bought a 3D rig of eagles, and I give it to him. It's a Maya, and he would rig it and animate it, and he would give it to me, and I would composite it in. And there was about 2-3 other student animator, and that's how it was done. And the thing here is that I think that from a distance, I think those eagles and vulture looks pretty realistic, shocking, and terrifying. And as they come a little closer, maybe more shocking and terrifying. But if you get a close up of the eagles and vulture, I think it's unique. It's something different, something you haven't seen before. Maybe it's art, So that's where it is.
Was this a part of? I imagine it was a part of the film that got a lot of laughs from the audience tonight. Was when the birds show up.
Yes, I think I call it the imperfection part of it.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, maybe I would admit that maybe they'll initially laugh at the the imperfection of the animation.
Right. Do you think that takes away from the shock and terror of the birds if the animation is causing the audience to laugh? Does the audience ever grow to be frightened of the birds in the movie?
I think one or two scenes, maybe when Becky got killed or that cowboy guy got cut. Yeah, yes, and maybe in the sequel I should make it more shocking, more terrifying, more serious, like a horror. So I think that maybe I never follow the convention way of horror where you build the scary with the music and with the scene where you break it down and from the knife or to the cutting, where it's a really traditional horror expectation. The horror part of it, I think, was just part of the story, and it just evolved. And you have the imperfection, and it made it funny, and so be it, And maybe in a sequel I'll make it more perfection, make it more kind of like more scary, more shocking, terrifying, like a traditional storyboard horror movie. Even like Psycho, with all like that. But I don't know. I want to do that too much because it may ruin the entertaining, the humor of the movie. Maybe Birdemic Shock and Terror will never. People sit through Birdemic Shock not because they're gonna be scared like a scary horror movie, but they sit through it because they'll see the horror action, but they'll laugh with the movie because it was so funny and entertaining. It's kind of like a romantic thriller, but with some comedy.
Now, the birds do a few weird things, and I'm not sure how intentional it is. Well, obviously this is. When we first see them, the birds are actually like bombs, and they land and blow things up.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come from that the birds would be like bombs? And explain physically what's happening. How are they able to blow up buildings and cause fires upon impact?
Yes, that's a good question. And the reason why when the eagles and vultures take a dive, an explosion, is that global warming has caused them to be mutant.
Okay.
They have caused them to be, because they're mutant, they have become toxic and flammable. So that's why when they take a dive, they they're flammable and toxic, and they explode. You know, even they dive to a gas station, and you got gasoline too. You put fire with fire, or when they have bird drops or fluid. It's the fluid is acidic. That's why when the fluid was splashed on A. Ramsey and the tourists, they got all burned and they died. You know, they got all contaminated and toxic, and they got burned and died. So that's why it's like that.
Okay. And the other thing is, when the birds attack, they seem to be almost still, like the way they hover. They don't move up and down. They're just fixed into one place, and they're just flapping their wings.
Yes.
Was that intentional, or was that just the low-budget animations?
You know, it could have been perfection. Let's see. I had a one of the student animation. That was his job, is to do the match move to make it work.
Okay.
And he's supposed to give me all of the footage and composite in, but what happened is that his multi-million-dollar dad told him, I gotta pay him up front, cash, or he won't give me the animation.
Okay.
And I had a premiere to do in late December 2008, and I had to put in whatever I had. And I ran out of money, and it just stuck like that.
So that's just a budgetary.
But technically, I was templating. I know how to do it. It's just that the animator flake out on me, and that's what became what it is today, and
the same animator.
No, we have three animators.
Oh,
the main guy is good. Young is good.
Okay.
But the other guy that I hired later on, they flake out, and that's one of the price you pay when you're low budget,
But is that also in a way one of the happy accidents?
Maybe maybe some people will laugh at that,
Right.
see like that. I kind of look at that and just in one area that I wish I can fix it. It's that area you just mentioned. It's like sticking to the screen like that, and it's because there's no match move. I just drag and drop with egos that was just hovering. That was just one set, and I had to put it in one because I had to send it to Sundance. Time was running out.
Right.
And I wish I can. I wish I can fit, and I did try, but it was too late, and Seven Film have locked down this current version, and so be it.
Yeah, they probably don't want any changes made to it, especially to improve. The effects.
Yeah, because it became a code as is, and they don't want to Mickey Mouse around with it. Yeah.